Hello everyone, how you doing? Welcome back to another video. How we doing today, my friends? What is going on? I like that one, James. Hello everyone, this is your daily dose of Muppeteers. Can I get copyrighted for copying his intro if I do that? How you doing though? How is everybody today? It is Wednesday, my dudes. It is Wednesday, my dudes. It is Wednesday. How are we? A little bit earlier today. We've got something to do. It's going to be somewhat shorter today. Got something to do in about 50 minutes. So, yeah, we'll do that. Got to get through all of this. But how are we? Let me know where you guys are from. I haven't asked that in a bit, but I'm always curious to see if there's any sort of change in the demographic here. While people are filing in, let me know. Let me know. Sick display on the left. You mean this? Funny you should mention that. Okay? This is from our good friends at Pop Cuts, and I think I have the link below. Let me confirm. And they make these wonderful, beautiful wall arts for many different things. They've got superheroes. They've got Manchester United. They actually have Liverpool too. I know, but they do. And they have them, and they're great, and their art is great. And when I get the screen up in a moment, you will actually see a QR code from them that you can scan to get a discount to buy one of these wonderful pieces of art for yourself. And I can tell you that the quality is fantastic. And I would recommend buying it. And by using the QR code and our code, you can get 10% off and free shipping to certain countries. Not all of them. But yeah, I'm gonna let me actually update the description, make sure it's down there. But yes, I have to give a big thank you to them for that, since they sent me that one for free, which was very nice. Before we were doing any sort of sponsorship and things, and they're part of the community. Let's look at where everybody's from here. Manchester, that's good. That's good. Malta, Oslo, nice. London, St. Lucia, very nice. First time live, welcome. Minneapolis, there you go. A Midwestern friend. Copenhagen, Galway, American living in Barcelona, Nigeria, Chicago. I didn't meet you there, did I? Toronto, Charlotte, South Africa. Wow, yeah. We do have a decent number of South Africans here, which is always cool to see. Saw the Mainoo video. Great one. Steve Housen almost said the same thing. Well, thank you for that. And yes, I appreciate that as well. I hope that you will watch the Kabi Mainoo video as well before or after this. I want to talk about a couple of the points from that video today. Just what should be happening with Kabi Mainoo and why we can relax about Kabi Mainoo. He will be fine. He will make it at Manchester United at the right time, in the right pace, and behind Bruno Fernandes, and that is totally okay. South Africa, Namibia, New Zealand, awesome. Love it. Well, as you file in as well, please make sure to like the stream. It's a lot easier than typing out where you're from. You see how I did that? That was cool, huh? Just click the little like button as you come in. It does help. And then we will get into all the topics that I wanted to discuss today. And there's quite a bit to go over. Not a huge amount, but a decent amount that I do want to talk about. I have some subjects that I think are important for us to look at. By the way, just because this just happened, what do you think about Arsenal moving for Eze here, okay? I think it's really funny because I was just saying the other day, I don't think Eze's that good. And I remember having some disagreement about that and Cunha. And then you saw Cunha play football, and I think the rest is history. Honestly, I think it's very funny that Arsenal are taking a player from Tottenham. I think it's hilarious. I think it makes absolutely no sense for Arsenal. I don't get what they're doing. They also gave Trossard $220,000 a week last night. Madueke, Martinelli, Trossard, Eze, Odegaard. What are they building over there? Then you go and you get Gyökeres, who plays on the break, who plays quickly, who attacks, and then you're building a team of half players who want to slow the game down like crazy and half players who want to speed the game up like crazy. I don't get it. I honestly don't get it. I don't understand. I don't know what they're trying to do. The mixture of their team makes no sense. And more than that, yeah, it blocks Eze. I mean, you have Nwaneri as well, for what it's worth, who is a top player, who is a very, very good young player. You're putting more blocks in his path, which is also in turn putting more blocks in Dauman's path. And you know what? I'll take either off their hands. If they don't feel like playing them, I'll take either off of their hands. And I understand that Max Dauman is very, very young. But at the same time, they looked at him and said, you're going to get more minutes. You're going to get a chance because you're that good. And he is that good. He is young, but he is easily the best talent in England right now. I wish it weren't so. I wish it wasn't at Arsenal, but he is the best talent in England right now. And certainly everybody, including United, have looked and said, and talked to him and made contact and things like that and said, just if you don't see a plan in front of you, our door is always open. Here in Manchester, we love our Arsenal transplants. We've had a few. They've done pretty well, all things considered. We've got a few of your buddies that you might have played with over here who have already gotten more minutes, by the way. Just saying. And are due to get some more and are already straight into the first team. Just saying. You might want to show up. Maybe you come in here. Anyway, regardless, I do think it's funny. Phase 20, Berta pickpockets Arteta job. And that's actually what I think is going on. This is my big prediction for Arsenal is it won't work this season yet again. And game one, I think, not heading in the right direction. It's not going to work for them because they're confused about their ideas. Berta is trying to build a team that is more capable of playing quick and on the break, and Arteta plays football like there's 3 balls on the pitch at the same time and refuses to play on the break. All of these ball players, there's still only 1 ball. And that's how Arteta plays football. The football's leaving him behind. He is not evolving with the times, and that is what makes him always just Pep's bridesmaid, Pep's understudy, and not the right guy. He doesn't evolve and keep up with what needs to happen in football. And I think that by the end of the season, it won't work and they'll get rid of him and they'll replace him for somebody else. They'll replace him with somebody else. And that more matches the way that the team wants to evolve and play football moving forward. That's my opinion on Arsenal. I need to get on some Arsenal channels, do some collaborations with the guys. I know that obviously Flex and all of them are close to all the Arsenal guys. I need to do a few of those and have some chats because I want to see what some of their fans think about that opinion. But that's what I believe will happen by the end of the season. But that's Arsenal. This is Manchester United. This is where we are. What do we want to talk about today? These are the 5 things I want to talk about today. One of them is Yap. A very important subject. I'll probably see if I can get into some of the transfer stuff by then. And there's a small chance, and I really do apologize for this, there is a small chance that by the time I reach the Yap section, that I have approval to share one of the things I mentioned yesterday. I still don't. I've 100% confirmed one piece of information about United that's coming. That is totally true. That is certain. But I do not have the ability to say it yet, but it's like at any moment in time. So it could be now, it could be in the morning, I don't know. But I'll try, and I do apologize for being a tease on that. I don't really mean to. I was just kind of excited to say something. But I know that people were asking about it because I mentioned it yesterday. I've had what I was looking into confirmed, but, there's still time to... I still have to be polite and follow the rules and things like that. Can you rank these director of footballs from 1 to 6? Wilcox, Viana, Wistenley and Stewart, Hughes, Berta, and Lange. I mean, we haven't seen a lot of them for a long time, have we? They're quite new. I don't think you can judge any of them yet, to be quite honest. How could you? Hugo Viana just arrived to City. I put Wistenley and Stewart pretty low. I don't like the team they're building. I really don't rate what Chelsea are doing. I know people are really high on them. I think any director of football can look good if you go spend $1.5 billion over the course of 3 years and just load up on every possible player on earth. That, to me, doesn't make for good. That's just infinite funds glitch. Berta, he also just arrived, and then Lange is pretty new as well, isn't he? I think that it's impossible to rank them at the moment. If I have to go off of my feelings, I'm putting Jason Wilcox at the top, Wistenley and Stewart at the bottom, Hughes in second, Viana third, then Berta, then Lange, then Wistenley. I don't know. I put it in that order. Love the content. Live's a bit early last night. Yeah, it's a little earlier than usual today because I got to do something in 40 minutes. So I cannot be live for too long. Today. It is good news. Yes, it is good news. It's not, like I said, it's not specifically transfer related, but it is good news. There's good things happening, and it is good news. I think it's just something we'll see that's a positive in the long term, very much so. So we'll get to it. Love the content, paid chatter. I know, Dev. I know. You haven't answered my DMs, and I've been offering you. You just never mind. So let's get into it. Rasmus Hojlund. Rasmus Hojlund at this point in time has been turning down moves. It was reported that AC Milan met with his father to discuss a move in further and talk about more of that, and he turned that move down. Now, what is being reported today is that I believe to be true now, that wasn't necessarily always true, but is true as of now, is that Rasmus Hojlund, and I think his family, advisors, people around him, would prefer, if he does leave, that he leaves permanently and that he is gone for good. And the reason for that is essentially, it's kind of complex. In the start, of course, Rasmus wanted to stay. He has been given a very strong directive from the club that he is going to struggle to get any minutes under Ruben Amorim. Ruben Amorim has given him a very strong directive that he should go. There's been a lot of conflict over this, right, between him and the club, and him like wanting to stay and this and that and everything. And I know for certain that we've talked about this a number of times, that they've been very upset about the situation, that he's been really bothered by it, that, you know, all of those types of things, because United is his dream club and he's moved here and all of this kind of stuff. But of course, it is a ruthless business, and you perform or you're moved on. That's the simplicity of it, right? So given the way that he feels he's been treated, it was always kind of likely that things were going to get almost to a point where the relationship is so broken that he wouldn't want to come back. There was a point during this process where, as far as I'd heard, if he were to go, he would want the chance to come back. But with everything that's happened, it does appear at this point in time that he would prefer to leave on a permanent, should he leave the club, and just be done and not end up in I think the relationship between him, people around him, and the club is pretty bad at the moment. And so it's almost like you gotta, how would you put it, like, you know, they won't leave, so you gotta do something meaner and meaner to them to get them to leave. I don't have a good analogy for this, guys, so give me some help if you've got it. But essentially, that's kind of what's happening. So at the moment, it looks like Napoli. Apparently, he is the top target for Napoli. Yeah, there you go. Matteo Moretti. Yeah, exactly. I was just saying that. I don't know if that's new or not, but he is the main target for Napoli. There's a bunch of reports on that. He is the main target for Napoli. Napoli are pushing them forward. Napoli are going for him after losing Romelu Lukaku to injury for some time. A return to Italy still has always made the most sense. I don't know why, I don't know why he would have been sort of cold to Milan, but if you'd want the permanent move and they couldn't afford it or weren't willing to commit to that, then that kind of makes sense. The conditions of the Napoli move here at the moment, from what I'm hearing, seem to be that there's conditions that would make it obligatory. Okay, there's conditions that would make it obligatory. That may suffice because that may be the only option that's there. Conditions that make it obligatory. Is that how I say the word? There's conditions that would make it that, and that would probably suffice. I think there'll be an option, but I think there will be conditions that can make it an obligation at the same time. So we'll find out, but that's going to be part of the negotiation in all of this kind of moving forward. Now, Napoli have been looking for forwards. I know they've gotten a few. They have more money. They've got the Osimhen sale. They've also had the success of buying Scott McTominay. They tried to get Garnacho for it, and they tried to get Garnacho from us. Obviously, that they will see that there's a potential success in bringing these players from England. I mean, anybody should, by the way. United players going to going to Italy is like free trophies. Lukaku, Ashley Young, Darmian, McTominay. You take players from United, your team wins the Scudetto. Like, how is that? I don't know why, but it happens time and time again. We've probably got, even Alexis Sanchez, United have probably got this reputation in Italy now that you can just buy title-winning players from United that we don't even want. And it must be really confusing. It must be really, Chris Smalley, it must be really confusing, How many players we've had go to Italy and be successful. Mkhitaryan, I know, what the heck, man? That's crazy. They've got to take players from us more. So some of them seem happy to do that. Mkhitaryan formerly through Arsenal, but yeah, it's so that's kind of funny. So obviously it seems like, United's cast-offs have a good reputation in Italy, and that's cool. I mean, different styles, horses for courses and stuff. It's it does seem like we've signed players over the years that are great for Italy, not for England. Who's been recruiting for us? Holy shit, maybe that's why John Murtaugh went and got a job in Italy. Maybe he does have the right idea. Maybe he's going to be brilliant for them. Maybe John Murtaugh knows how to win the Italian league, and he will be a legend in the director of football game over there. Maybe he will. It all starts to make sense now. It all starts to make sense. Big John is going to the league. He understands how to win football games. How to buy the right players for that league. There you go. That's the reason. That's the answer. John Murtaugh's at Atalanta. Now they're not a big club in the bracket of history and competing for titles, but man, maybe he's figured out the secret here of what to do. Let me just raise a tweet. Just a promotion. Intermission really quick. All right. And then brief intermission. Have you liked the stream? Yes. No. What do I want? I want Amra back. How about that? It's just a random name I thought of today because I think him lining up for Fenerbahce. He can do things in the Serie A that others can only dream of. Yes, exactly. Yeah, Atalanta's like the Brighton of Serie A. Exactly. But maybe it'll work out for John. Anyway, so Murtaugh, reset. Rasmus Hojlund in talks with Napoli over a move there. There is potential that this could be something that turns into a permanent deal. So that would be the best outcome, I think, for everybody. And I think it is like the point that the relationship is fractured. You know, it's like, get out of here and don't come back. And then, you know, at that point, they come back. And then you keep being mean to them until they decide they want nothing to do with you anymore. So I just watched a movie the other night, and it was like a scary movie. And it was about, what was it about? How would I describe this? It had almost this exact thing. Like this person's dad showed up, and the people would have killed him if she couldn't get him to leave and never come back. So she had to like be extra mean to him so that he would stay away. And that's, I guess, a good comparison. Stuart, thank you for gifting 10 memberships to the community. I appreciate you very much. And remember, guys, those are random, so don't feel left out and don't feel too special. But thank you for that. Okay. So there you go. So that's Rasmus Hojlund's situation. If he does leave permanently, if it's a conditional obligation and not a sale, if it's some kind of loan and then a conditional or something else like that, then we can't really spend the money today, but it will still likely save us a good 8 to 10 million on the season, which could help move us towards hopefully trying one more thing in the market before the end of the window. Now, on other sales, we've attempted to a degree this same strategy. And you know what? I was thinking about this before the video, and I was trying to figure out how to say it. Do you guys not believe that the fact that the players we froze out, almost every single one, is showing their true colors by turning down moves and seemingly being willing to sit on a couch and collect a check, that Ruben Amorim got it exactly right on the wrong ones in the dressing room, the fake individuals in the dressing room, the guys who are not even committed to playing football but just to themselves, that are there for nobody but themselves and not the team. Do you not think it's interesting that every one of these guys is turning down moves for their specific thing they want and nothing else, and are even willing to wait and not play? It proves he was 100% right about every single one of them. Also, the reported $25 million for Garnacho by Sky. Surely, if true, he stays at United. I love your tactics video, man. So good. Thank you, Stuart. And yes, if they're going to offer $25 million, he will stay at United and not play and will rot. I think what we've seen this summer with Sancho turning down moves and being willing to sit, with Antony turning down moves and being willing to sit and not play, with Garnacho turning down tons of moves and being willing to sit and not play, it proves that these are toxic players that you do not want in your dressing room. It proves that these are players who should be nowhere near the team. They're not there to play football. They're there for the name, for the glory, for the fame, for the money, for whatever. But they're not there to play football, because you get a very short window to play football in your life when you're a professional. You get this window from, as a pro, right? 18, maybe 33 to 35, if you're really lucky, because a lot of players, their window is smaller than that. 15 years out of your whole life, and you're willing to waste a year? not playing football in the most important years of your career, not when you're 33 and not when you're 16 or 17, but right there in your 20s, the best time, you're willing to waste that. That, to me, says everything you need to know about those individuals as footballers and why they should be nowhere near the team. And what I do think is ironic about this is the guy who got the most criticism for his attitude from fans, and this is why I say you have to be careful about the assumptions you make. Marcus Rashford is the only one right now of the whole group already playing for Barcelona, one of the best teams in the world, getting on the pitch. The PlayStation squad are sat at home, getting tattoos, vaping, sitting on Black Ops 7. I don't know if that's coming out or something, but, that's what they're doing. Ruben Amorim was spot on, and he had it exactly right. And he did what was necessary. And even if we can't sell them, at the end of the day, it sends the right message. Correct, shenanigans. Rashford did take a pay cut to make sure he could get where he wanted to go. And it made it work. That's the important part. If it works, if you're sure of it, there you go. Oh, look, this is well-timed. Fabrizio Romano, Napoli have made new contact with Man United today for Rasmus Hojlund deal. Talks underway. Hojlund's camp, there you go. Hojlund's camp in talks with Napoli as players keen on the move will also want guarantees to stay at the club in the future, not a simple loan. Negotiations ongoing. Perfectly timed. Rasmus Hojlund wants the permanent move to Napoli in this, and that's what he's trying to do. And it's in progress. So there you go. We did it again. We nailed it. Thank you. You're welcome. He wants guarantees that he can stay at Napoli. So as I was just saying, he wants that permanent move. He wants to stay there if he leaves. That's what he wants now. So that's what he's pushing for because the relationship is broken, essentially. He doesn't want to leave and come back. So there you have it. That was very, very well timed from Fabrizio to confirm what we've got there. Love that. Very happy. I'll have to clip that and post it underneath to show that's what we were discussing earlier. No, honestly, I'm sure Fabrizio knew that information. There's other hints to it for what it's worth, just to be very, very clear. This has been reported by other people. I was simply properly confirming it because with all these Italian reports, the problem is sometimes it's really hard to know the truth. That's why I wanted to bring it up because I wanted to confirm what was true. And now Fabrizio has confirmed that as well. So thank you for that. If anybody does have the clip of that earlier, feel free to clip it and post it underneath the tweet, and then I'll repost it there so that I can make sure it gets out there. But yeah, that kind of confirms that. That's very good. Excellent stuff. Actually, I did tweet that, didn't I? I said Hojlund wants out permanently. Talking Hojlund wants permanent move. Actually, you know what? I've done really well here. Sometimes things work out. Sometimes things work out great. All right. Moving on from the sales stuff. Actually, apologies. Let me refocus now because we got distracted by that news. Garnacho still waiting for Chelsea. It's believed that, by the way, that just for what it's worth, it is believed that they're going to offer more than 25 million for him. It may be in a more structured deal, but I'm almost 90% sure that they're prepared to offer more than that. Okay. So I don't think the 25 million thing is quite accurate, but there may be a structured deal that's worth a lot more with the base fee low. I have a feeling either way, if it does go through, people are going to be quite unhappy. On Anthony, don't know. Nothing on there. On Sancho, nothing there as well at this point in time. In terms of the goalkeeper, I just want to have a discussion about this with you guys and raise my opinion on it that I was thinking about. I might be totally wrong because it's purely an opinion. It's purely, like, how do I put it? Like, this is a future prediction. It is not necessarily something that I can say with confidence, but it is my thought at the moment. I get the feeling that Altai Bayindir that they feel that Altai Bayindir could be a really good keeper if he keeps playing. And I really wonder about that. Now, I could be totally wrong, and at the weekend, Onana plays. So this is not one where I'm certain of it, but this is where I want more of an open discussion. Could Altai Bayindir, if he gets to play more games, be the guy for United? He cannot make the mistakes that he's made. We know that. He can't. You cannot make those kinds of mistakes. Everybody agrees. If you keep making those mistakes, you're gone. It doesn't work. You've let the team down. But he's barely played any games, and I just wanted to show you some stats, okay? I like let me just read this out, and then I'm going to show you some stats. Is Baleba deal completely dead for the summer? Can we get at least one more in? I don't believe we'll get Baleba this summer, no. There's no indications that there's any hope in that, but we're not totally done for the window necessarily. George, thank you for being a member. No, listen. I'm just making a case here, okay? I'm just making a case here, and I just want to tell you something. I just want to say something. I want you to listen, and I want you to hear this. Because I said this in the lead up to the game. I said, don't be so certain about things that haven't happened yet, okay? Don't be so certain about things that haven't happened yet, because then if you're wrong, it's hard to admit it. It's hard to admit it. I'm not saying you can't hold an opinion now, but I wouldn't be so certain about things that haven't happened yet. Just like in the beginning, before the game, I said, look, I have disagreements over the lineup. I've got different opinions over the lineup. I've got all of that. But I'm not going to sit here and say we're going to get fucking trashed, because we may not. I can't predict the future, and neither can you. So don't say things about the future that you don't know yet. But look, check this out. Look at Bayindir's stats here, okay? I didn't actually know that they looked this good until until I pulled this up before the video. Bayindir has a crazy number here, and it's a small sample size. Don't get me wrong. It's a small sample size. Guys, he's got really good stats. Like, really, really good stats for a keeper in this small sample size. 630 minutes. He's got really good stats. Like, his post-shot expected goals to goals against is really good. His post-shot expected goals shots on target is really good.
A case for drugs, yes.
PR Roads at it again. A case for drugs, yes. Save percentage is less an important stat. His clean sheet percentage is even not bad. And then look at crosses stopped and defensive actions outside the area. Now do errors leading to goals. No, it's not on here, or I would. But I know. But the fact of the matter is, no, look, 630 minutes. That's how many games he played. Where did this 630 minutes come from, by the way? All competitions? Oh, okay. So it's like this. Interesting. Interesting. Anyway, I'm just saying that he actually played very well besides the bait in that game. Besides the mistake in that game. He played really well. He was quite successful. He made good saves. He made good passes. And you know what's really, really funny? Is that 10 games is absurd to judge. It's very, very little. It's 7. So this link you put in there. Altay Bayındır's made more errors leading to goal than he's kept clean sheets across his last 10 games. But he's only played like 10 games, right? 10 games is really small. 10 games is really small. But he was good. He was good, right? He did play. Paycheck from Bayındır's camp just hit my... He did play well. He did play well. Didn't have any shots to save. 2 shots Arsenal had. Well, that's 2. That's not none. But in addition to that, part of the reason he had fewer saves to make is because his distribution was very good. When Onana kicks the ball, it's coming right back. When Onana kicks the ball, it's coming right back, right? When as a keeper, when you give the ball away and you lose it, you create pressure for yourself. One of the reasons we were not under pressure in that game is because he made good passes. So we didn't lose the ball. So we completed our build-up, so we were able to actually control the game, build up from the back, and keep possession. Second highest grade in passing Prem week 1. That is the truth. He did do that. Now, he's made way too many mistakes. They are inexcusable. In the same way that we can't turn the ball, the sixes can't turn the ball over in our own box, right? In the same way that that other players can't lose the ball deep. They cannot make those kinds of errors. They can't, okay? They cannot make those kinds of errors, right? It's just inexcusable. Don't get me wrong. But in a run of games, if he were to actually get a run of games, could we cut the mistakes out? When he played last year, what was it? After Onana got dropped in the Europa League, he played against Newcastle, right? He actually had a good game. And then he made a bad mistake and gave up a goal. He's done that a few times where he's had good games and then he's made terrible mistakes that have cost you at the end of it. But here, Samix, you make a really good point. Onana's errors are due to bad distribution. Altay's mistakes are physical and mental, right? He had a good game. Getting goals scored on you is not always the keeper's fault. It's not always the keeper's fault. There's only so much they can do. Okay. Last home game against Villa dropped. What do you mean? He got a clean sheet. I don't remember that. That cancel. What do you mean? No, man. All I'm saying is this. Onana makes mistakes all over the place, right? Let's just be real for a second. All right. Let's be real for a second about this. I'm a positive person, so you're getting a positive take from me on this because I can't be negative for long. I always choose to look at things in a potentially positive way. If they genuinely believe he's a good player and that they can manage it, then why? Okay? Then I'm going to figure out why would they think that's the case? Okay? Why would they think that's the case? And I'll see if they're right. Okay? Maybe they're not. Maybe they are. I've got my own concerns. But I am choosing to look at it on the basis of what if? And what I see is this. For me, I would have a lot more confidence in Bayındır rather than Onana. Because when I've watched Bayındır play, I think his passing is pretty good. I think he's been mostly solid in saves. I think he's done a lot of things right. but then he's had like this terrible time in like an individual moment. Okay. When I watch Onana, it will be like disaster from start to finish. He'll kick the ball to the opposition. It'll go straight out of play. He'll be turning it over regularly. He'll fail to call off of the defender. Like the mistakes are like all over the place. He'll put his defenders in trouble. He'll parry it straight back in front. He'll let it in from a corner. He'll poor passing. He will make lots of different mistakes. With Bayindir, it's usually like just the one in the game. Now, it's still too many, but that's how I feel. That's how I feel about it. So we'll see. I could be totally wrong, but I'm willing to give him a chance. I'm willing to give him a chance. We have 2 donkeys when we need a horse. I mean, that's true too. I've said all summer, I would rather we get a new keeper. I'm still sticking with that, but I'm choosing to look at maybe what could happen. Plus Bayindir is 6'6". Yeah. So, hey, it is what it is. It is what it is. Listen, I'm going to make you guys a bet. You ready for this? This is all a lead-in for a bet. I want to make a bet because I know that we didn't get to do some of the other bets and things like that. So Bayindir, his facial hair grows like mine. It's like very patchy on the cheeks, right? But he can grow the goatee well. So he shaved and got a new facial hair before the last game. I wanted to make the bet. If Bayindir plays on Sunday again and gets a clean sheet, I'll shave all of that and just do for a week. I'll just grow the goatee and mustache and shave all the rest and go to his style, just in solidarity with our guy Altai. If he can get a clean sheet on Sunday, okay, we'll match the facial hair. And I hope that it works. I hope that it works. I hope. No, I don't. This is purely speculative. But my thing is this. I think these are smart people running the club. When they make decisions, I try to figure out why they would make those decisions because they have more information than me. That's why I don't immediately just get mad about it. I just want to look at it. Not same hair. I mean, we almost have the same haircut anyway, but I'm saying the same facial hair. Mine will grow in over the week. Don't you worry. Mine will grow in over the week. Not a clean shave. It looks terrible. How am I supposed to know he's going to get a clean sheet on Sunday? If I don't shave from today until Sunday, it will be thick and dark on all of this. It's just, I shave very regularly. My facial hair grows in really fast. It just grows in patchy. Let's talk about Mainoo. I've got like 5 more minutes. I did do the video on Kabi Mainoo this morning, and I think it's worth watching. Again, yeah, I know I gotta go. I gotta wrap this up. Actually, it took too long on all of this, but we got our hit on the Hojlund news as well, so it was good. Grass isn't always greener. Majority of fans wanted De Gea gone. We get Onana. If keepers make more mistakes, then we make it priority for winter. True. Very true. Very, very true. Yeah, there's always January, and we would be able to buy in January. But there's also a chance we could still buy somebody after these sales, which we can talk about in just 1 second. And again, Kabi Mainoo, there's a good plan. There's a good plan with him to find his place under and behind Bruno Fernandes. And I think he's going to play a lot over the course of the year. I think he's going to do well. I think he will end up being the long-term successor to Kabi Mainoo, or to Bruno Fernandes. Kabi Mainoo will end up being the long-term successor to him. It was really interesting to look at the stats when I was making that video, though. And I feel like people maybe really strongly misremember, his time. When he was playing under Ten Hag, this is 23-24, he was, look at his stats when it comes to key passes and progressive passes. If you look at his contributions, he was nowhere near the opposition goal. And I feel like a lot of times people have talked, when they talk about the Mainoo thing, they talk about like He was fine under Ten Hag in a different system. If it was 4 at the back, he would be fine and all that. He was still playing behind Bruno. Bruno was playing as the most advanced midfielder. Kabi was being pushed deep, and he was having very little to no contribution to the attack. And United were terrible that season as well, and it wasn't his fault. He was in that midfield with Casemiro getting destroyed every single week because it was just a poor setup. He had no goals and assists or any kind of serious contribution for months. 1 second. He had very little contribution. Last season, he actually got to do a little bit more, but at the cost of defending. Because he was deployed a little bit more as a 10 or as a striker. He still played best under Ten Hag as much as you want. When? I think people remember like the Wolves game, and then they remember the end of the season, and not all the games in between when he was fighting for his life in that team. He was playing football. I don't think it was particularly good for him. In the first 7 games of last season, he was partnering Christian Eriksen, and he was leading the league in tackles, and he was dying on the pitch, man. He was completely burning out, and then, of course, he got injured again. I think people remember these small moments, but not all the times in between when he was being put through the ringer. At the end of the season, Ten Hag switched to a false 9 in the final games, and he played McTominay, Amrabat, and Mainoo together in the midfield. And Mainoo was able to get more advanced and get more forward, and he scored against Newcastle, and he scored in the FA Cup final as the most advanced midfielder in the 3. Then he went back into the pivot. And now, I'm just telling you, this is potentially the closest, the most advanced player in the 3. Because when the team steps up in many different positions, Kobbie Mainoo will be almost at the tip of a 4-2-3-1 when the center back goes up and supports the defense. This number 8 position under Amorim, when we get good and we are controlling games, is perfect for Kobbie Mainoo, and it'll be him darting in and around the back line all over the place and being successful, and he will be great there. He will be great there as an advanced 8 because it is his position, it's his best position, and it's where he will fit, and he will be fine in that position. But for the moment, he cannot just play in the 6. It's not the solution to just throw him into the 6, where he's not going to play that well and mess things up. That's it. I got to end it because I got to go. But I want to talk about that. Check out the video that I posted on that. If we can sell Hojlund permanently to Napoli, correct, Sagib. There's a difference between a defensive midfielder and an attacking midfielder who can defend. It's not the same. Kobbie is an attacking midfielder who can defend. He's more of all action, but leans towards the offensive and everything. I don't have the approval to share that other news yet, so we'll just have to wait. Apologize. Hopefully tomorrow. But yes, again, as we discussed on Hojlund, wants the permanent move, ready to go. Talks ongoing at Napoli. If that happens, and if we can get Garnacho going, then there's still a chance we will make an attempt for a midfielder in this window. That will make an attempt for something. Hopefully tomorrow early, as soon as possible, I'll put out whatever other stuff that I have. But that's it, guys. Smash a like on the way out. Thank you for watching today's video. I appreciate you all. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. I'll be back tomorrow. Hope you enjoyed today's live. Thank you very much. Make sure to check out, again, the Kobbie video as well as the